Hello, my lovelies. Welcome to this witchy ninja, in which we're going to be stirring the cauldron. So settle in, gather your ingredients, and bring to mind a pot of your choosing. Perhaps it's a massive cauldron with a raging fire beneath, a camp stove, a Dutch oven, or y'all, it could even be a crock pot, whatever works for you. And begin to connect with what you might want to bring to life in this moment. What needs a little stirring up. And maybe you feel, before you heat up your cauldron of choice, maybe you feel the texture of that container, whether it be cast iron or smooth. Maybe even it's plugged into the wall. Whatever works for you. And as your ingredients are nearby, start to smell. Maybe even take a taste of the different items, if they're okay to taste. And we're going to brew up a simmer pot. Something that brings to life our intentions. That feeds into not only desire, but that which we would manifest. A little less double toil and trouble, and more a moment of creation. So once you have your cauldron ready, and whatever stirring device you would appreciate in this moment, could even be a wand, and you begin to call in your ingredients. Maybe they're in little glass jars, or small bowls all around you, tiny little packets gathered with care. Or maybe you have some herbs drying above. Notice what you need. What delightful blend connects with your heartstrings. Perhaps in this moment, you're longing for protection, for that sense of safety and of care. Perhaps it's time for a little glamour magic, allowing yourself to be seen with the most loving light, having others drawn to you. Maybe you have a love spell in mind, or something a little saucier. Or maybe you want to bring in abundance. Whatever is calling to you, begin to gather that which might serve your purpose. Could even be a moment of healing, or perhaps a bit of clarity. Your finest discernment spell. And we're going to get the water boiling, light up the fire in any way you need to. Maybe there are matches and you can smell them, or you're just plugging into a wall. Maybe you're getting the fire lit and the kindling is crackling beneath your cauldron. Beginning to connect with the smells and the sounds all around. And we want to settle into the body in this moment. Feeling into the spaces in the body, those that are at ease, those that are resting easy. The parts of the body that feel weary or strained. Allowing both to be present and both to be valid. There's no right or wrong in this moment. Our body shows up as it should. And noticing if the body needs any support or encouragement in this moment, perhaps a pillow or a blanket. A slightly different position. And just as your cauldron is going to need the right ingredients, so does the support around you. Get your resources together until it feels just right. we're going to settle in, moving and winding through the body as though we are stirring the pot. Clockwise for attracting, counterclockwise or widdershins for banishing. So if there's something that you need to let go of, think about that as we spiral through the body. And if there's something you need to amplify, consider that as well. Meaning your journey is your own. So notice how you want to get there. Beginning just above the top of the head. Starting at the crown, winding your way down to the right ear and the left. The nape of the neck, the tip of the chin, up to the forehead, the temple, the lower lip, the other temple. One eyebrow and the next. One cheek and the other. An eyelid and another one too. The nostrils, side to side, up to that spot between the third eye, just above the eyebrows, down along the bridge of the nose, all around the neck, wrapping magic and intention. It swirls around the shoulders and the torso, along each arm, spiraling at your own pace. Feeling that movement, that connection. The pot keeps stirring. Moving down along the arms to the wrists and the fingers, as though each finger had a swirl of magic. Maybe it seems like mist or tiny little lights, shining and twinkling, all around each fingertip. And then winding around the torso, and none of this constricts. You feel the lightness of the magic around you, as though it becomes a part of you. All around the torso, the chest, the belly and the back, wrapping around the hips, down along each leg, to the ankles and the feet, the soles of the feet and the tops of the feet, and each tiny little toe, getting its own little spiral of magic and wisdom. And we wind our way back up to the heart center, breathing into the pulsing of the heart as though it was at the center of your cauldron, feeling the warmth stirring in the heart, connecting, amplifying, protecting, releasing that which would serve you best in this moment. And maybe we wind out away from the heart to that spot between the collarbones, down along to the base of the pelvic bowl, circling in whichever direction is called for in this moment. And then allow your body to sink just a little more into the surface, supporting you as we connect once more with this cauldron of the mind. The smells, the taste in the air, if not the ingredients themselves. The feel of the warmth of the pot, the steam rising up to the skin. If there's a fire below, even noticing how your feet are warmed by it. The sturdiness of whatever spoon, wand, broomstick if you would like, is stirring your concoction. And within, maybe you smell rosemary or cinnamon, lavender or sage, a bit of black salt, the sprinkling of thyme, berries or peppers for a little spice and fire, or to hurry your magic along. Maybe there are rose petals, and you smell their sweetness. honeysuckle or dandelions, ginger, chamomile, a bit of tea or coffee or even whiskey, maybe a dash of tequila. Whatever your pot needs in this moment, welcoming it in. Feeling your magic brew and grow. Connecting as you stir with your power in this moment. It's not within the ingredients or the pot itself. It flows through the universe. The awen moving through you to the handle. And then your ritual flows with you. None are separate. It's all the same. I'm just noticing what is beginning to take life. If you called in shielding or protection, is your heart feeling a little more secure? Your body can rest easy because it knows no harm can come. Perhaps it was time to let go. You burn something in the pot to release something that your heart wants to free. Maybe you were brewing up some love. So feeling the pulse of love, of passion flow through you, regardless of the arrival of the other. But noticing how your heart expands. Perhaps abundance is brewing up and you smell the cinnamon, bringing wealth and harvest to your door. And maybe you wrote a request for clarity or discernment upon a bay leaf, allowing it to soak up in this moment so that the ingredients, the water throughout the pot, help to connect not only with this bay leaf, but it's as though your mind is clearing. It's as though your third eye, your inner vision, is beginning to awaken and the path ahead is lit so bright. Noticing what clarity feels like in the body. Perhaps you start in a bit of courage or bravery. Maybe some ovarian fortitude. Whatever is your journey. Feeling in your body how you may be manifesting already the fruits of your labors. Feeling the release or the amplification, the ease, or the decisions that come so simply, so authentically. And notice what this journey feels like for you. Notice what it feels like to harness your own power, to harness the connection of the universe around, through you, within you. Nurturing and nourishing this enchantment that you are bringing to life. And as you feel this winding movement through you, from the tips of the toes all the way up through the legs, the hips and pelvis, the waist and back, the ribs and their neighbors, around the arms and the shoulders, the neck, all around the head, and you feel your magic. Be aware of what the magic feels like inside of you. Does it sparkle? Does it vibrate? Does it pulse? Do you feel electric, or do you feel just an easy breath coming and going? Maybe there's a sense of curiosity or courage, wonder or strength, passion and creativity brought to life. Just noticing and breathing. And as we feel into what this experience has been like, begin to honor and thank the cauldron that held your fire. Maybe there's a tiny bow, maybe if any particular divine entity was assisting in your journey, be it ancestor or element, deity or sprite, whatever your magic entails. Thank them as well. Show some gratitude. Reciprocity tends to help in these instances. And begin to turn down the fire, letting the smoke rise up, mixing with the steam. And knowing that your journey, your endeavor, has already come to fruition. Just sitting back and letting the magic work on you. And over time, when all is cooled, pouring the ingredients out into the garden or into nature where they can replenish and nourish the world around. But knowing your magic is already awake within you. There's not a single thing you need to do to bring it to life. And knowing that this cauldron of the heart, the stirring, the spiraling, magnificent energy is something you can call upon at any time. No ingredients or tools required. No athame or wand is necessary. Just you. Just your intention. Just your heart's desire. As we begin to come back into the space where you are, feel the textures against the skin. Both cool and warm. The breath in the body. Noticing the sounds far and near, soft and loud. And maybe you hear just the tiny bit of crackling of the fire itself. As it's winding down, coming back to its ember. Beginning to notice light behind the eyes, maybe images or shapes appear, neon clouds or constellations. Breathe fully in this moment, into your body, into the space around. And as you release, let the eyes flutter open, blending the inner world and the outer world. And so it is. This witchy little Nidra is complete. Blessed be, y'all.